Oh, okay. Welcome to this session of Creating Art Over 70. We're going to be continuing on with the Raven painting here. Just trying to knock it out. So enough said. Let's get started. Sharing. We're going to try to work out some of the technical difficulties I've been running across. For example, first I got the camera lighting solved, where or when I was making some of the earlier videos, I didn't put all the videos out, but when I was making some of the earlier videos, I had a camera set up that was it was ref- adjusting the light in the exposure. For example, when I is it- for example when I go up to do some painting, for example, and I cross the light, it would adjust. And I didn't like that, and I didn't really think the quality of the video was all that either. But I thought that was the way to go. This whole journey has been a lot of trial and errors, and if you're just starting out, you will see and you will experience exactly what I'm talking about. In order to get a real comfortable workflow, you just have to go through a lot of the trials and errors. So now, I'm just using for the camera setup. I'm just using two phones, one of my two iPhones for the whole camera setup. It seems to be working really well. The light's not get adjusted. The clarity is pretty clear on the painting itself, and so I'm pretty happy with that scenario. However, just one thing I really would love to be able to work out, and that's to be able to capture the painting while I'm standing. I haven't been able to work that out yet. Um, I'm sure it's possible, but I don't want to have to deal with a real. Well, I'm not gonna, you know, undertake a real expensive solution to that. To that, I'll just continue on doing like I am now. So I normally like to stand when I'm really trying to get into the tight shots. I mean the tight portion. Like um, when I was doing the glasses for Raven, for example, I stood so I could really capture it a lot better when I was able to stand. Yeah, it's been a really nice journey. When I'm painting, I really just flow. I really love. to let the piece direct me is the word I'd like to use, because that's what I'm actually doing. I'm letting the piece direct me. So what I mean is when I'm going into something, right, I look at the piece and then I see, okay, this needs some work. This needs some work. This needs some work. That type of observation. And then I look at my color selection, the color scheme that I'm using, and I just let my heart decide what color to pick up and use, literally. And I think for me, that's one of the beauties of painting with a gambit mask color schema is that you can really blend those colors well. They just work well together, no matter which ones you put. And then as I paint, I really try to incorporate each and every color that's in the schema in the piece. And you notice when I paint, I'll even overlap the colors because lighting is funny and tricky. And as you can see here with Raven, the lighting is coming across from Raven's right side. So any of the shadowing I would do would be more so to the left side, and more of the highlight stuff would be caught coming from the right side of the paint. So, but yeah, like I was saying, my style is definitely not the traditional style because I truly paint emotionally here. I paint with feeling. I just following the flow. I follow the flow of the anatomy. And I just follow the flow. The cool thing about pastels is that they layer well. You just keep painting, you keep layering till you get the tonal value that you're looking for. And once you achieve it, you know you're there. And so everything seems to work out and to fall in place for you at that time. And one of the really nice things about pastels is they blend so well together. I I watched a lot of the oil painting that painters paint, and I watched how they mix and blend their colors on their color palette, and that just blows me away. Um, that is like an incredible skill set to have such a grasp on the colors, meaning that what colors go together with what colors blend to make this color, and what's worked together, the complementaries, the triads, all that stuff. They have it in their mind, in their head when they're painting. And as I watch them, I'm like at awe. I'm like, boy, that is beautiful. That is truly, truly art. And it gives you a really good, a real strong appreciation for the skill set that person has. And if you're beginning, if you starting out, as you continue down on your journey, you'll probably, you know, be able to relate to some of the things I'm saying at this point in this juncture. But one of the main key points I could really recommend and suggest is to really watch some of those incredible artists out there on YouTube. It is so many to choose from. That's going to be the challenge for you, is choosing the right fit for you and the style of painting that you feel comfortable with. When I'm painting and I'm doing the portraits. When I'm doing portraits, I really use I really use my paint brushes heavily, because what I've seen, and for me, I'm not sure if it will work with every style of painting, but for me, because I have kind of a choppy loose style of painting. The the brushes blend well for me. They really do, and they just seem to make a a natural texture with the brush strokes. Because the beauty of it is what I think is that all the all the bristles of the brush, when you're using a brush, whenever you're using a brush, all the bristles of the brush move the pastels in different directions. As you paint and as you stroke, the brushes just move the pastels in different directions, and so in doing so, it seems like to me that really gives you nice texture and blending. So it makes it much easier for me to get rid of like hard edges, so it don't look so um, I don't know. Illustrated is the word I want to use. I'm not sure that's the correct word I should use, but where the edges in illustration, the edges normally are pretty sharp. So, um, at least in my illustrations that I have done, but when I was creating T-shirts and things like that, um, yeah, that's when I wanted the sharp edges. one thing that, well, my style of painting that I'm really trying to work out for myself, and that is like my touch. And what I mean by that is what I mean by my touch is that I can be, pretty heavy-handed. So, in order to offset being heavy-handed, sometimes you'll see me when I'm painting. I'll be way back on the pencil, uh, trying to hit trying to hit and bring in what it is I'm trying to do lightly. Sometimes I'm able to get it, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I still get a little heavy-handed. Especially, I see it more so in my charcoal pieces, um, and that's because I'm using. It's because I'm using you know the two base colors, black and white, are you know different variations of black and whites and grayscale. But the two colors I'm using are literally black and white, black black charcoals, and I do use white charcoals in my pieces. I I hadn't done it early on, but I do now I really because I really like seeing the detail in order to really, for me anyway, to be able to get that detail to come out and pop. I use the white pastels, especially especially when I'm using the toned paper. So because when you use the toned paper, you only have a certain value is like maybe just a little higher than a mid-tone value. I mean, a little lower than a mid-tone value, or I should say a little lighter than a mid-tone value. So you understand what I'm talking about. But I've actually done a charcoal piece on white paper, on a white paper, and I love doing it. It's like, ooh, because I had a larger range of values because the lightest value was white, and which is the highest value of the range, and then the darkest value is black, which is the lowest value of the range. So paint on the white paper was a beautiful experience with charcoal. When I'm working the pieces, I really try to work them. You'll see me jumping around here, there, and just trying to work it all in as I go along. And I try to focus too heavily on one section. I really truly hope these videos will be beneficial to someone who's on a similar journey. But I truly wish you success on whatever journey you intend on undertaking. Because a lot of us have our passions. A lot of us have our passions, and sometimes I think that all it takes is sometimes I think that all it takes is like that one, like maybe one incident or experience or time or interaction with a person or an event that will spark that passion. It's like, oh, let me go after it. Let me go do it. Let me see what I can do. And the beauty of it is, at least for me, and I think it will be for you, the beauty of it is when you embark upon that passion, the joy you get from it is just truly priceless. So whatever it is, go for it. Enjoy it. You know, we only have one life, and you know, creating art over 70 means that yeah, that start to move up in line. You know, because we never know. So let's leave a little beauty in the world. I think that Aaron Blaze used to make that statement, and I really truly admire him and agree with that statement wholeheartedly. It's like it's like create and leave, create and leave that you know some beauty in the world, right? And art is definitely that. It is beauty. It is just, and I don't say that speaking from or just a visual sense. I say that from an emotional, spiritual, and visual sense. I tell you, it's nothing like I tell you, it's nothing like creating something that brings or puts a smile on someone's face, or joy in their heart, pleasure. Yes, pleasure. What a concept. One of the true and sought out, sought after blessings given to us as human beings. Pleasure. Wow. Yes, pleasure. Today was a pretty cool day. It's a beautiful day. Okay, I think that's enough for this session of creating art over 70. Um, so I did a lot of detailed work in this session. I was really trying to push Raven features. I really wanted to get the mouse to come out more, some of the real strong facial features that Raven has in the anatomy section of the face. And so I really was trying to push that. And then at the same time, I need to be aware of the differences in the shadowing and the lighting areas that is underneath the glasses. And so that's a challenge. I've done that in the past. I've worked glasses. But the ravens have a unique color. It's like a really light tint, and I mean you really have to look close to see the tint. I really from the reference I really can't tell the actual color. It looks like one of those dark brownish type tints. I guess that's what you call it, an umbery color. But anyway, I want to try to make sure that I have enough anatomy underneath that. So when I start to layer the shadowing and the lighting in order to make the two surfaces different, but under the glass and outside of the glass, they have to be different. So I need to be able to represent that. And so that's going to be the challenge. And I'm trying to lay that out here. And I also worked a little bit on the ear to get a little bit more of the detail popping out into that. And I worked up into the hair a little bit to get an idea of the direction of the flow of how this all is going to go into the hair. Okay, so I think that's enough for this session. See you in the next session. Thank you for watching. Creating Art Over 70. Signed, Rufus.